Hi, welcome back to NCRT class 8th chapter number 11 cell structure and function. Children, after learning the combustion and the flame, now we are going to study one more bio topic called cell structure and function. In this chapter, we are going to study what does cell mean and what it consists and how the discovery of the cell has taken place and whether only few in number for cells are present or more than it, and similarly size, shape and the different functions and structure of the cell we are going to study. And also children, the cell organelles, I mean different parts of the cells like cell membrane, cell wall, isn't it, nucleus, chloroplast, vacuole, all such different things and interesting things we are going to learn under this chapter children. And at last we are going to make a comparison between a plant cell and that of a human cell, nothing but an animal cell. Got it children? Okay, now we will start with a basic introduction about this chapter, isn't it children? This is what like a introduction can say. So what it says, in the lower classes we studied that there are living organisms and also non-living organisms. So if on this earth the organisms consist both living and non-living things, on what basis we are going to classify these are living things and those are non-living kinds? Yes, it's correct children. Based upon the certain functions which are going to perform by the organisms, we are going to classify it is a living with and it is going to classify it as a non-living, isn't it? Certain functions we have studied in our lower class. It should show respiratory and it should show a response here, isn't it? All such different functions we have studied. And along with the children, different organisms consist and organs in them. Understanding children? They consist what? Organs. And what these organs are made up of? Nothing but cells. Isn't it children? So what is this cell? A cell in generally called children, it is a basic structural and functional unit of a organism. Isn't it children? Once again I'll repeat, a cell is nothing but it's a basic structural and functional unit is called a cell. Then have you observed children, to build a building or house, people use the main raw materials for children, bricks, isn't it? So bricks plays an important role in building, isn't it, to construct a building. Here bricks are like a basic things, means basic raw materials we can say. Similarly, in order to perform certain functions, this organism should consist of basic structural units. Those are called as a cell. So how can we define cell children? Cell is nothing but a basic structural and functional unit of an organism. So as I told, to build, that is to construct a building, bricks are necessary. In the same way, to construct a complex structure or simple structure, cell acts like a main thing children, main raw material, that is main functional and structural unit in organism is nothing but a cell. Got it children my point? Cell is nothing but a very important, and it is also called what? It is the basic structural and functional unit of an organism. To carry out different functions children, a cell is needed, isn't it? Because a group of cells will constitute here tissues and the tissues they in turn convert into what? They'll build. They build what? Organs. Then organ to organ system means one to one. Here a link will be there. So cells plays an important role in making of a structure, that is organisms. Then how this cell has been discovered? That is, we are going to study under one more topic called, that is subtopic, discovery of cell. How the cell has discovered, children? Robert Hooke, isn't it? Robert Hooke, he was the famous scientist. He made an experiment upon this, means upon the cell he did a experiment, means he has taken cork. Children, what is the cork? Cork is nothing but the tree's bark, a thin layer of a tree's bark. Generally we call it as a cork, isn't it? Cork means here thin layer of bark, tree's bark. He taken this cork and he has seen under the simple magnifying object, means microscope. He had seen under the simple microscope. Children, there is a lot of difference between the simple microscope and a compound microscope. It gives only a small view and magnification is very less in this, isn't it? We can't, or in detail we can't study about it. So at that day, means in those days, nearly this had taken place during the year 1665, isn't it, children? At that time, simple microscopes were present. So he had seen this cork, that is a slice under the simple microscope, and he observed that there were a brick-like structure, isn't it? Generally, what is the shape of the bricks, children? In this way you'll get, isn't it? Rectangular shape you'll get. In the same manner, the Robert Hooke observed the cells in a partition or compartments. He called those as a partition. This is what? Brick shape. Bricks shape. Here, this is one cells. And he called each single one as a partitioned or compartment. Also, what? Unit, isn't it? For single brick-like structure, he named it as it is a partitioned one, compartment-like or unit, isn't it, children? So, first, who discovered cell means you had to answer what? The Robert Hooke, isn't it? Okay, now he observed that under the simple microscope there were partitioned units which are present close to each other, just like that is in the honeycomb, isn't it, children? In the honeycomb, how the honey will be present outside, very close. In the same way, he observed the cells here. And also he noted here, they were separated by a layer. Understanding, children? This is what he observed, that they were separated by a thin layer. And what the cell which has used to for experiment at the time, it was dead cell, children. It is not a living one. He had taken dead cell for a experiment, isn't it? So he observed that partitioned cells he observed, and also they were separated by a thin membrane he noticed, and he coined the term what? Cell. Got it, children? Okay, and here he had used dead cell for his experiment, but the cells of living organisms were made means used for experiment only after the discovery of a compound microscope, children. Means after the Robert discovery of nearly 150 years after, due to advancement in the technology, different microscopes were introduced. Now, after the simple microscope, compound microscope were discovered. What is the difference between these two means? I'll say, children, in general, here the magnification is very less compared to compound microscope. We can magnify very easily, and also we can magnify more in amount, children. Even the small minute like structures we can see under the microscope. There is compound microscope, and we can study furthermore, isn't it, children? This was studied by or made discovery of a cell by Robert Hooke. Now we will see what is cell. Children, as I told, a cell is nothing but it's a basic structural unit of a organism. And here both the bricks means when we make comparison for building a house we need a bricks. Similarly, in the formation of an organism, cells are needed. Means both the bricks and the cells are needed to build a building or an organism, means to build a structure. And the bricks are in different size, shape, designs even. In the same way, children, we also have different types of cells that we will study one by one, children, in detail. Now, keep in mind that cells also of different in size, that is types. Got it, children? And also the living organisms are different from one another. Isn't it, children? We are totally different from one another, isn't it? Because of different types of cells, and also more than that. We will study. Okay, here the cells of different organisms are going to be what? Differ, and they will turn into a complex structure. Children, when we look a hen's egg, understanding, children, if we take a hen's egg, it looks like a group or combination of cells. But the fact is that, children, a hen's egg is formed by a single cell. Children, a hen's egg is formed by single cell. But this single cell we can see with our eyes. Means it can be seen with our eyes. Isn't it, children? Means it is that much of a bigger one to see it. Isn't it? With the help of our unaided eyes, we can see the hen's egg. Isn't it, children? See. Means here hen's egg is nothing but it's only one cell. It is not consist of many cells. It consists of only one cell. So children, this is all about the discovery of the cell and the cell means what. So in today's class, we have studied how it was discovered and what is mean by it, and also we studied whether the hen's egg is a group of cells or a single cell. Got it, children? Okay.